3, 2, 1. Hello, folks. Welcome to On the Deck, also known as OTD. My name is Adam Arduna. This is my mom, Gina. And so today's topic is been brought up in the news quite a bit, and it's about basically the dominance of certain people or certain teams and what that means to that sport. And today the biggest topic has been about the Golden State Warriors and how they're chasing this new record for the regular season, and how Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and all these guys on this team really are just, Draymond Green. The list goes on for how good they really are. Coached by the
great Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr is the head coach, exactly. And even when he was out, Luke Walton stepped in.
It's just royalty up and down the board.
Exactly. They just are a really good team, and they've really dominated this year, really in a way that no one else has really seen. And so people are kind of asking, they're questioning, is this really good for basketball or the NBA? And this has been brought up for a lot of different people as well.
Can I interject?
Sure.
Dumb question.
Okay.
It's not your question, but it's a dumb question. Well, when people have the nerve to say, and you're right, people ask it, is this good for the sport? Is this team good for X sport? Stupid question. Of course they're good for the sport.
Sure.
And like you said, recently, before the Warriors question is Ronda Rousey good for women?
Great example. Sure.
UFC fighting.
Expand upon, what do you think about that?
Well, I think that, again, I reject the premise of the question, but to that point, of course Ronda Rousey was good for women's fighting, UFC fighting. Because before that, how many people were watching UFC? Can you name any other women, other than now Holly Holmes, who beat her, who are UFC fighters? Unless it's your daughter, your sister,
unless
your
you
mom.
Were that invested into it, you're not. Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're dating them, betting on them, or trying to be one of them.
Sure.
None of us knew who that was.
Exactly.
We all knew Ronda Rousey's name.
Everyone knew Ronda Rousey's name.
And not only did we know her name, we're paying for the fight.
Correct.
Of course Ronda Rousey was good for the sport. And I think the question came from, she was so dominant that it was like 3 fights that were less than 60 seconds combined or something like that.
Yes, exactly. It was 3 fights within 20 seconds total of all 3 fights that she knocked out her opponent.
She was knocking them out.
She was.
We need to come up with a new word, because out didn't even cover it.
I could tell you right now.
Knock 'em blast.
Yeah, not just. That's a tough woman right there.
Oh my gosh. And when you would see people go down, okay, we could Ronda Rousey all day. But
that's going to the point.
Yeah, that's to the point, is of course.
Now we're talking about UFC and Ronda Rousey and the sport of UFC.
Exactly. And people like me, who I'm not a big UFC person.
Correct.
My husband is, you are.
Sure.
There are a lot of people who are. I wasn't, until you started seeing someone who was dominating like that. The same thing happened to your boy Tiger Woods.
Yes, Tiger Woods. Everyone said the same thing. He had his huge splash in '96 and '97 when he won the Masters. He was winning huge, and all of a sudden there was this huge, big golf explosion across the country. Everyone was going to the driving range. Everyone was at the putting greens. Everyone was signing up to
new people
that weren't traditionally not Tiger, but golf fans.
Right.
They were watching golf and participating in the sport of golf, or the game of golf, actually, because
the game of golf, correct,
of Tiger Woods. And everyone was asking, is he just too dominant and no one can catch him? Is he good for any of the sport? And everyone was jumping on the bandwagon of Tiger Woods. And so I totally think, again, yes, there's another example of why it's important to have somebody or a team to do that, to help elevate your sport.
Exactly. And it's just like Ronda. It's just like Rousey is, because she was beating people in such a dominant fashion. When Tiger was on top, he was beating people by a ridiculous number of strokes. You're talking about, not 5 strokes. He's beating people by 10 strokes. You'd get 2 or 3 days into the match or the tournament, and it was an insurmountable lead. People were literally playing for second, and that's why that kind of dominance comes up. Another thing that happens when the Williams sisters were both dominating. I mean, Serena's still dominating. Again, here's the question. Are they good for tennis? Stupid question.
I just can't believe that someone would even ask that question. I just can't believe that, because of how awesome they are to just women empowerment. There's so much that they bring to the table. How would you not want to get behind that and support that?
Absolutely. Tyson had the same issue. Tyson but listen, for those of you who know, before Tyson was biting ears, Mike Tyson, you'd pay these pay-per-view fights, and they'd literally be over in less than a minute. and you'd have packed arenas full, people Vegas betting, people
all
flying
stars
in,
from
all stars,
everywhere,
$100,000 for the front row seat, and it was over in less than a minute. So I do think that was one argument I could see, is like there's so much fanfare and build up, and it's over in less than a minute. So to that, they were saying, is this person good for the sport? But now come back to the Warriors.
Correct.
They're dominating like that. Let's be clear, they are the reigning NBA world champion.
Yes, they are, and they have the reigning NBA MVP on their team, and he is playing better than what he was playing at last year, and so he's,
if that's even possible. His whole team is playing better. Even
everyone's playing that better than they were last year. They're playing as good as the '96-'97 Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. So you're telling everyone right now, if you're the Golden State Warriors, we're that good, and we are good for the sport, and we are competitive just like everyone else.
Well, and I think if you look at that list, with the exception of Mike Tyson, these are all people who are not just good for the sport, they're actually good people.
Correct.
I mean, Tiger Woods obviously had his fall from grace. We didn't know all the dirt he was doing, but for the most part, Ronda Rousey has carried her championships with great honor. Serena Williams, Venus Williams, these are two wonderful, strong, powerful black women who are not out with nudie pictures and this and that and the third. And then you look at the Warriors, I'm not saying they're all squeaky clean, they're human like everyone else, but they're not out doing dirty stuff.
Sure.
So they're winning the right way and they're dominating.
Yes, they are.
And so, yeah, they're good for the sport.
They are good for the sport, and all the people that we just listed off are also good for their sports, and the individuals that participate in those events and athletics, you got to continue to be great, and don't let anyone tell you to not be as good as you can be, because I think that's sending the wrong message when you're saying, hey, you shouldn't be as good as someone that is already like this. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, and that's really the reason we wanted to bring that topic up, because I don't like the question and you don't like the premise, because it really is saying, why shouldn't you be the absolute best that you can be?
Yes, exactly.
So what do we want to set the standard as mediocre? Hey, oh, you know what this reminds me of? The Incredibles, the Pixar picture.
Yes.
And they wouldn't let their son Dash. He's like the, super speedy kid.
Yes, the super fast kid.
They wouldn't let him do sports.
Yes, because he would beat everyone, clearly.
He's a superhero.
But they want him to get a close second.
We like superheroes.
Yes, we do.
We do like superheroes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the movie, at the end of the show, they let the kid run track, and then the parents are in the stands.
Yes, yelling and telling, coach him, go, don't get first.
They're going, go, stop, second, go for third.
Down, yes.
Close second.
Hey, close second.
Close second. So I think in some ways that's why I really don't like this premise. These sports writers, are the Warriors bad for sports? Shut up.
Yeah,
what are they supposed to do? Go for a close second?
That's just insane to me. Why people would say that about a person or a team, why you can't strive for greatness and try to achieve something that's amazing to do.
And by the way, if you're going to win and you're going to go for a game, a best of 7 series, and you can close it out in 4, close it out in 4.
Why would you not want to do that? And you have more time to relax and hang out, and you're done.
If you can ace somebody someone out of a tennis set, Serena, why not do that?
If you can get a perfect 100 on a test, why would you not do that?
Why would you go for an 83 to make other people feel better?
Why would you go for a 99 or a 98?
Oh, I said 83. Look at you reaching for the sky.
I'm just saying, if you have a chance to go to the absolute best and to the number 1 position, why would you not have an opportunity to take that and do something with it?
And if someone is salty because you're tired of watching the Warriors win, I'm going to say this. Losers like to watch losing. I'm a winner. I like to watch winners win.
We like to watch greatness as well as winning. And this is a great team. This is a dynasty, and this is something that people need to continue to support.
You see that? I still got my form.
Steph Curry with the 3. See that? The flick. The flick.
Get him Draymond underneath.
Draymond had a fantastic game.
Oh, Draymond, I don't know if you saw
that. That was that late 3 that he just canned there in the sidelines.
Top to bottom, Warriors are champions.
I just want to say, wow, that was clean.
That was clean. So yes. Yes, I think they're good for the game.
I agree with that. Well, that's it for us on the deck. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, folks. All right.